Second out of 10. Purdy in the shotgun sends Juszczyk in motion to the left. Takes the snap. Back to pass. Purdy looking. Throws deep down the field. Caught by Jennings. Angles right to the 15. Down to the 10. Turns to the 5. Into the end zone. Touchdown 49ers. Jauan Jennings, a catch and run of 38. And with 2:15 to go, the 49ers have taken the lead. 41-38.
Jauan Jennings, free agent acquisition by the Minnesota Vikings, under the cover of darkness and of late. And as we shared earlier on the 9 to noon radio show, what's going on there, Alec Lewis? Jordan Reed from ESPN giving the Minnesota Vikings the big stuff with the Vikings offseason, for the most part, has come to a conclusion. Jordan Reed at Jordan_Reed analyzes football and the draft, assumedly for profit, for the mothership.
It's for profit.
He wrote, good morning, YA. Good morning, Alec.
Hey, Paul, how are you?
All right, thanks.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Jordan wrote, sneaky good offseason for the Vikings, shed/restructured the contracts of aging, injured, and or declining vets that don't fit their timeline, drafted and infused help at much-needed spots. For the short and long term, signed reliable veterans that don't hinder future flexibility. Quite the adroit tweet in the estimation of yours truly. Here's Alec _Lewis via X. This will be our Steve's Appliances Marathon segment. Customer appreciation sale taking place at Steve's. Learn more at stevesappliances.com, stevesappliances.com. All right. Good morning.
Hey.
You actually were 90 seconds late for the first time in the history of a 9 to noon presentation. And the assumption was with tonight's game, Finchy had an early walkthrough. And after the walkthrough, you were transcribing Joan Berenger quotes for John Krasinski. Is that accurate? And good morning.
Absolutely. Good morning. Yeah, no, I was trying to see how many times Julius Randle's going to duck his shoulder and go directly at Wembanyama tonight. No. It was 4 years I've been coming on this show.
Yeah.
And I think it might be the first time that I have been late before you got back on the air.
Who cares?
I care.
Well, it did force him to read a competing media source's ideas on the recent signing of the Vikings wide receiver.
Yeah.
What's that mean? With Alec? Yeah, Jordan Reed, Field Yates, they never come on the show. Never.
I will say this. I love, looking
Didn't you have Jordan Reed on your podcast, the Alec Lewis Show?
Jordan's great, but I love
it was a good episode.
Other people in the business who have thoughts and opinions. I love hearing what other people think. Why is that funny?
No, I just threw out the first line of the show to see if I get a chortle or a scowl. And I got the chortle. Now, if I got the scowl, that means we got to pull way back before the 11 o'clock to make sure we can get into the weekend alive.
And listen, once you have Joe Smith of The Athletic, you can't just go directly athletic. You've got to break it up somehow.
How'd you know Joe Smith was on?
I was listening.
Yes.
You guys are.
Who was before Joe Smith?
John Hines.
Heinze.
Yeah, you said.
Did you hear the journalistic excellence of 9 to noon? Trying to pull that goalie answer from him?
Is there a chance Eric Sinek is going to play? There's always a chance.
Well, okay. Well, teach me. Okay. Copyright Dinah Washington and her old elite song, Teach Me. I think it was her. 3-2. Then teach me. What's the follow?
So what's the percentage?
Yeah.
Coach Hines?
That's what I thought. No, you're
or
right.
do you just go in head first and will Eric Sinek play?
Well, no.
Oh,
he's going to
say. All of a
say.
sudden we got Woodward and Bernstein.
Because I think that shuts the door, don't you? Yeah.
Absolutely. He gives you
on the next interview, the next 3 interviews for the next 3 weeks. Thank you.
He was in a good mood. And Heinze, at least this is my perception of all of my Heinze observation. He's not the most he's not going to be the most sarcastic, jokey on the mic. He might off the ice. Is that what they say? Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, he was happy today.
It seemed like he was in a pretty good mood.
The interview we had with him last week, was probably, with respect, it's probably the worst John Hines interview, and I probably had a lot to do with it. He had no interest in doing the interview for Vox in the Box. He just wanted to get home, finish off the Dallas Stars, move on to the next one. That's just how it happens.
Listen, I hope that they can give the Avalanche a run tomorrow night. I mean, I've been watching these games.
Hold on.
This Avalanche team, I mean, these guys are unbelievable.
Unbelievable, no doubt. And why I asked you to hold on, sure, because we're going to begin like this with the Steve's Appliances Marathon. Dealer's choice for Alec Lewis. And your choice is pull whichever card you want. Pick a card, any card. Your options include, for now, but are not limited to, Jauan Jennings, the Vikings general managerial search, rookie camp is today, T-Wolves at home tonight, or Boldy. Pick a card, any card.
The card that I would leave last would be the rookie minicamp. I mean, I'm going out there today, and I can't wait to watch guys run around. But
then don't go.
No, I'm going to go.
Don't go. Arif Hassan would be there in a minute.
No, I'm excited to go. I can't wait to go. I'm just saying, of the 5 cards,
Tanner Hoops would be there in 30 seconds.
The card that I picked,
Gessling's newsletter dialed up immediately.
Absolutely,
he's just waiting to hit send.
No, absolutely. I haven't written anything in the last few days either.
You guys are the best.
Jauan Jennings would be the card that I'd pick.
Okay.
They got Jauan Jennings, who is potentially a number 2 wide receiver in some team. I mean, in some teams he would be for $8 million, which is the same amount of money you'd pay a guy like Jahan Dotson. So
Jahan Dotson.
I'm saying that is the comparable type of money
financially
that they paid Jauan Jennings.
I got you.
Who has 130 plus catches, 1,500 plus yards, and 15 touchdowns over the last 2 years.
Yep.
I think you're probably not going to find a better receiver 3 to fit alongside these two guys. And this offense, I mean, I was looking this up last night. If you remove quarterback from how much they're paying the offense, they are paying this offense, I think, more than any other NFL team. So hopefully the quarterback play is good.
Well, that's convenient to remove quarterback.
Well, I mean, it is convenient.
But it also but it's a coup to get, and I don't know if Kyler's going to be high-end Kyler or punt-passing Kyler. He's going to be somewhere in between, hopefully closer to the high end. But there also is a coup to landing somebody with that ability for it's a ham sandwich deal, man. You get it at a deli. It's $1 year and $1 million and change. So I just think it's convenient to eliminate the quarterback portion of the equation.
It is definitely convenient. My point is they have a lot of talent on offense. And if you lay it all out and it goes the right way, you can get really excited for what's possible. So I thought that deal, when Jauan Jennings visited and then he left, there was a lot of, why'd they let him leave? Well, part of it was just negotiation. They got to a point where they signed him at a cost that anybody around the league would say that they would love Jauan Jennings at that cost. So
Jauan had to make that choice.
I would say.
So here's the deal. It's when Grenard was traded, I brought something up to you about Drew Rosenhaus and about how this game works. And I don't have confirmation. This is what happened. But until I'm told this has nothing to do with it, and that could be today with the sneaky chats at rookie camp.
You're going to get a text in 10 minutes.
Well, here's the deal. So tell me Rosenhaus didn't do him a solid, because the Vikings did not have to make it that easy for Grenard to leave. They chose to, which inherently, in turn, helps Rosenhaus. You know how the game works, man. We're going to get you here. If at all possible, we can get a solid with one of your other guys, Jauan Jennings, then help us with that. 8, I mean, it could be maximum 13, 1 and 8 for maybe the most coveted receiver that was on the free. Are you kidding me with this?
Yeah, I would say
Rosenhaus did this team a solid.
Yeah, but I understand the road you're going down there. But if Drew Rosenhaus could have gotten 14 guaranteed from somebody,
correct,
then he would have done that. So yeah, but I mean, eventually, with Jauan Jennings, it's been reported that 2 years ago, the 49ers offered a multi-year deal with $17 million in guaranteed money per season.
Oh, geez.
They passed that up.
How is Tim Kawakami?
Yeah, he's great. They passed that up. They bet on themselves. It obviously didn't go spectacular because now we signed a 1-year deal. But yeah,
I might be wrong.
I don't know if it.
Okay, well, hear me on this then. A 1-8 that could get to 13 with an opportunity to outperform the contract and make exponentially more next year. That all could be accurate, right? A 1-8 here with these guys in this building with that coach and 18 over there opening things. I think, and I'm just going to use one team, but we can put a bunch in a basket. That 1-8 is better than a 2 and whatever with Vegas. 2 and whatever with Tennessee. See what I'm saying?
You could say that, but you could also argue if you go to Vegas and instead of catching 40 passes here, you catch 75 passes in Vegas, then you could position yourself to make more money. So I think you could spin that either way. But
did he make any other visits? Because maybe the solid is the overnight, kind of getting him FaceTime with O'Connell and ushering that part of the process.
Well, I think part of that process was for the Vikings. They wanted to discern from Jauan Jennings, what type of role do you want? And what type of role do you want? Are you willing to play the role that we would love you to play, where you are the third option and the run blocking force that you've been in the past? And if you're not willing to play that role, then it doesn't make sense for either side. He obviously is willing to play that role, and the Vikings couldn't have a better person to play that role. So I also think I'll say this on, Jauan Jennings. This team, with what they've done this offseason, Jordan Reed laid a lot of that out great. The one other element, they have tried to get tougher, grittier, more of an edge with almost every player they've brought in.
Guys who push through every injury, if indeed it's possible to push through an injury.
And we'll walk to the line of jawing in people's faces, punishing them into the ground.
Northwestern guys blocking to the whistle.
All of the draftees and then this specific signing speak to wanting to establish more of an edge. Now, will that show up on the field? I can't wait to find out. But I thought the fact that they were able to get that deal done at that price, it really validates a lot of Rob Brzezinski, his approach, and he talked about it many times, we are not going to force anything. We will do stuff on our terms. And this signing, is an example of that in every sense.
Okay, Jauan Jennings and the Frank Smith effect. Now, Frank was offensive coordinator for the Dolphins, right?
Yes.
For Mike McDaniel, who called all the plays. It was one of those McVay, O'Connell. It was like that, right?
Yeah.
Kind of. Okay. But we've heard Alec and others mention this name, Frank Smith, a lot this offseason in terms of bolstering the running game and some other some other trap-related, pulling-related, running game-related things. Yeah, some wham blocks where you're trying to sell a shallow cross, which eventually ends up being an incomplete 9. Okay, 3-2. But Jauan Jennings
hybrid floaters
and the Frank Smith effect. Jennings, you touched on it. He's supposed to help the running game a bunch, I believe. You got the Frank Smith effect. You got better, more efficient potential, 3-2. The potential of more / better running in the red zone, in the 20, inside the 20, high red or low red, copyright KO. But Jennings is he's part of all that, right?
Absolutely. This guy, and I'll say this, Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, they have been as willing blockers as you could ever hope for that level of receiver over the past few years.
Especially Justin.
But there is a difference between being willing and this is a talent and a strength of yours. And that's the way that Jauan Jennings plays. You can do things where I saw a clip last night on Twitter from Nate Tice of Yahoo Sports, and it was a run in San Francisco where Jennings is flowing from one side of the line of scrimmage and inserting in the B gap and almost playing like a fullback type role to clear space for a 49ers running back years ago. So you can do things, and you know how Kevin O'Connell loves to, you insert a receiver and then it becomes like a play you come back to where it looks like he's inserting and then it's play action and he's leaking out over the top. We've seen Kevin use that type of skill set in the past. And I think because Jauan is such an effective run blocker, you can force defenses to bite even more than they have in years past. So I think it's going to be, it's a great addition. And this offense, again, it has a lot of talent. And so as long as the quarterback play, lives to a requisite level, it should be a massive uptick from what it was obviously last year.
The producer has pulled an added card out of his tattered sleeve.
Yeah.
For dealer's choice. So we had Jauan Jennings, took care of that. General managerial search for the Minnesota Vikings, rookie camp, Timberwolves tonight, or Baldy, with Alec Lewis at Alec_Lewis via X. We said pick a card, any card. We have a card anew. We have a wild card in the situation, and here's the con.
Yeah, it's so much conversation around Kyler Murray. We have to remind ourselves sometimes J.J. McCarthy's still on the roster. And I saw clips of the Green Light podcast with Bo Allen, and then why am I completely... Kyle Long. There we go. And here's Brian O'Neill talking specifically about J.J. McCarthy from that podcast.
I think the way you talked about Jets, where there's a youthful exuberance to them.
Yeah.
It's fun and it's refreshing. And even through some of the lull, I mean, we were 4-8 at one point last year.
Yeah.
And we rattled off 5 straight. Like, guys believe in him, and guys wanted us to figure it out and be better as an offense. Like, there was times our defense was rolling last year and we relied on them heavy. And like, the whole locker room was like super tight, like through the whole entire, process of growing and getting better and going through growing pains. And so we love him. Like, we were all at the Minnesota Wild playoff game with him. He got a box for everybody last week. And like, we're always at his house. And like, I love that kid. And like, if I was judged after my first 10 games in the NFL, I'm not playing right now.
Yeah.
So like, there's a part of it where it's like, it's still so fresh, and he's only going to continue to get better. And like, the whole attitude from us was like, how do we all go there as an offense together? Like, if you hear the term like lose the locker room, like, he had the locker room more than anybody I'd seen ever. If that makes sense. So
that goes a long way too, man.
And like, you want to root for him, you want to do well, and you want him to keep taking those next steps.
Yeah.
So that's Brian O'Neill on J.J. McCarthy. And it's just interesting perspective. I mean, at the ends of seasons and everyone's in their locker, Alec, and you're a part of this. You're interviewing players. It's on to the off season. And, a lot of people said really nice things about Mike Zimmer when he was fired about a month later. You know what I mean? But, with J.J. McCarthy, kind of the next step for him in this competition, it was just kind of cool to get that perspective from Mr. O'Neill.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised at all that Brian talked about it that way. I mean, Brian, I think that's a great window into why Brian O'Neill is one of, if not the most respected player in that locker room among the other players and the coaching staff. As far as the J.J. McCarthy part of it, I mean, I've written this and I've said it, like, there has not been one person publicly who has said something negative about J.J. McCarthy and the fit and the belief in him. And I really do think everyone internally has hoped that it would get to a certain level. And now this fall, it's just going to be about like performance and production. And really, other than we talked about the intangibles time and time again. This is a very clear equation at this point. Can J.J. McCarthy be consistent in how he shows up every day and how he performs every day? And if he can, he'll give himself a shot at the end of the day, and we'll see where it falls.
But I'd say a month and change ago, I would say Kyler Murray was a 10 of 10, 9.5 of 10. Favorite or percentage-wise to be the starting quarterback for the Vikings Game 1 2026. Right now, I'd say 8 of 10, 8.5 of 10. I still make it a prohibitive favorite. But, I mean, I don't know who you talk to. You don't know who I talk to. I don't know what you see. You don't know what I see or hear.
I haven't seen Kyler one time.
Right, I haven't either. But McCarthy, the growth and the work in California, I've just been told by too many of the right people, not the right of all right ever to right, but the right people, that he's come back different, that he's grown some, and his responses to things are a little different and might have regrets about the 9 and just he's come back a more mature guy. Have you heard that?
I mean, yeah, you hear a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things for a long time. I'm going to see it, and I want to watch it play out with my own 2 eyes in August. And once I get to there, and I have conversations then when it's an everyday situation, then I'll feel convicted and confident.
Well, do you make Kyler a 10 of 10?
I'd never say 10 of 10 with anything, but I would say you've got one guy with 87 starts and 2 Pro Bowls and one guy with 10 starts and struggled in his first year while did progress throughout the back half, but has struggled to stay injured. So I think it's a pretty clear assessment.
Agreed.
And we'll just see. Like, I think it's going to be good for both guys to have a little bit of noise as part of this. Like, I wrote this yesterday with Caleb Banks. Like, I talked to the Florida defensive line coach. He's like, I think the noise, the doubt, all of that is good for him to reach his fullest potential. I think the same thing with the quarterbacks. When you've got a little bit of noise of, can this guy mature? Can this guy be consistent? What type, like, if that motivates these guys, it can lead to optimal results, and that will benefit the Minnesota Vikings. So, we'll see in August. Like, I've heard a lot. I haven't talked to John Beck, who worked with him in California. I've reached out to John multiple times to talk about it. John has not gotten back to me. So
Dan Pompei, he called Dan Pompei back.
He probably called John Krasinski back. But it's just you hear a lot of stuff, and I've written a lot on JJ in the past, and I've talked to, everyone who's close with him. I've sat on his family's back porch. I've been really close. I just want to see it in real time on the field, day after day after day. And when that happens, then I'll write as
understood. Kyler also. And I'm not going to go down the road of willing participant to study or not. That's, all of that from back in the contractual days and how the whole thing was stupid. So that's done. It's a 0 player with me until Kyler has to learn it. It has to be natural for him. And then what comes off of what is supposed to be natural? Well, what happens if Sam guy does this? What happens if free safety guy does this? What happens if corner you didn't see all week does this? Well, he has to be able to move off that. And then, if you are a 1.5 read guy, and I'm not saying he is, I'm not saying he's not, and you go to running and leaving guys open on plays, that's going to be a problem. That'll be a behind the scenes loud problem. You see what I'm saying? So that has to be shown too.
Yeah, same with him.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, same with him.
We just got to wait.
You're right. It's not the most fun radio in the world.
No, sure it is.
But I literally, like, the Vikings' first practice of this.
Your last story wasn't that fun either, but anyway.
The Vikings' first practice is today.
Love Dan Hayes' story.
And it's just Dan's grinding.
Great job.
He's covering that team. He is
high-scoring games in the nation's capital, Davey, but anyway.
But so, Kyler, no question, just like JJ. And again, I think that's why your
last story was great.
I think there's been too many. I don't even remember what I've written. But Kyler.
But you know what I'm saying.
I would say the same. Yeah, of course. It's the same situation. Beyond the 1 and 1.5 read situation and then going to running, that's when injuries occur as well. And his biggest hang-up has been the inability to stay on the field. So
has it?
Yeah.
Has that been the biggest hang-up?
Yeah, it has.
Guess we'll find out in August, right?
We will. Yeah. And we will talk about it every day in August, and it'll be fun. But
From the exclusive Vikings Radio Network perch.
Yeah. I just and again, I've talked to a lot of people around Kyler, so I've got a lot of thoughts and a lot of noise around his history and the narratives around him. And I can't wait to write some of that stuff too, which I really haven't been able to because this team is relentlessly entertaining and interesting all the time. But, it'll be, it's going to be fun to watch these two guys together. Correct. It's going to be fun to watch JJ's growth. Yep. It's going to be fun to watch Kyler in a new environment.
For the rookie camp today, what are you wearing?
I'm wearing what I'm wearing
right now. The sweatshirt? So you don't think, because I am too. Yeah, the hoodie. Do you think it might be too hot?
I thought about it.
I don't want to be standing out there stuck with Damon Claiborne, with this 4-3 getting 80 on some defense, and I have to walk inside and get a sweatshirt or something.
Yeah, I figure that I'm going to, it gets windy out there.
Yes.
You've been out on the TCO Performance Center practice field. It gets real windy, so I'm erring on, and it could be cloudy.
I'm excited. I'm just excited to get back and play the game and see the whole bit. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel an attachment to Damon Claiborne? And how will you act when you meet him today? And the reason I say it is because you were the first of anybody ever to be like, deep draft, Vikings, Damon Claiborne, here's why it fits, here's where you need to be concerned. Then it happened, and you get to see the guy today.
I'll say this. I've been trying to get somebody at Wake Forest to talk about him for 2 weeks. I have messaged 4 personnel people, GM, coaching staff, SID.
Did you call Tim Duncan?
Can't get it. Chris Paul didn't answer either.
Randolph Childress?
I can't get. I can't get anybody to talk to me about Devon Claiborne.
That's a problem.
Like I've tried so hard.
Yeah.
And I did this whole thing last week on I talked to probably 15 coaches of all the draftees. Mm-hmm. I was talking to Corey Heatherman at Miami, all these guys.
Steve Spurrier.
Billy Napier. And I can't get Ephraim Reed, the running back coach at Wake Forest. So I am working really hard.
Well, when you text or call, and it's despite you 4 times the last 24 minutes telling us how to do our job, we never would tell you how to do your job. But do you include, hey, at the end of 2025, after that loss to Duke, he and his family got some death threats. I'm not interested in talking about that. But if you're interested in talking about that, guess what? That's why they ain't calling you back. You see what I'm saying?
No, it's a very general, hey, I'm Alec. I cover the Vikings. The Vikings drafted this guy. When the Vikings draft players, I love hearing stories about them. Yeah. I'd love, if you have some time, let's talk. Pretty wide open. Then they can call me if they want to talk on the record, on background, off the record. Mm-hmm. This is on the record. That's the part of it that's fun.
That's crazy. Maybe he's on a long vacation or something.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ephraim Reed, I don't know. If someone knows Ephraim,
have you considered Alfred Payton?
Did he go to Wake Forest?
I don't know. I know he went to Louisiana Lafayette.
Sure.
All right, we're off the rails.
Yeah.
We still have more on the dealer's choice, including the Vikings GM search.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit on rookie camp, T-Wolves and/or Matt Boldy. Pick a card, pick any card. And we will do that around the corner. But first,
The Fan and BigDeck.com want to give you a chance to win some bonus bucks. Go to KFAN.com, enter the keyword grand. You might win with the keyword grand. Enter it now, KFAN.com.
Y'all don't know football.
what's that fool doing?
Thank you.
You know how reporters and columnists are. They want the controversy. They want the negativity.
Today, if you're interested, I'd like to introduce you to rookie kicker Atticus Sappington. If you're okay with that,
Yeah, absolutely.
Atticus Sappington.
I'm gonna have
camp
to
today.
I'm gonna have to talk to somebody, and I'm trying to think. Have you met Charles Demmings, by the way?
No.
Oh my goodness! When you talk to this guy,
Really?
oh my goodness!
Oh geez.
Oh man! Oh man!
Well, I left the walk-by contraption, the drive-by contraption at home.
Well, the drive-by, you would use up all the recording
Are you kidding me?
space. Oh my! When you talk to this guy, Chuck Demmings, you are going to be
Okay.
Is there time to get home and then get to Egan?
Do you know anything about this guy's story?
Minimal.
Stephen F. Austin?
Listen,
Yeah.
Stephen F. Austin, but you're going to have him on the show soon, and you're going to have him on the show soon after that.
Okay.
He is electric. The nickname they had for him at Stephen F. Austin was Deacon Demmings. He is, you guys will get along well.
Okay. Well, I don't need the drive-by contraption technically.
Sure.
I can do it with my phone, and it kind of sounds the same. So you're saying if I choose to do this, find Demmings?
Ask Spearfish what he thinks of the conversation you might have with Demmings.
Okay.
That's a closed circuit.
Well, I'm getting there super early.
Okay.
So want to see Atticus. I was supposed to see him last night at the Omni.
Sure.
My son had 5 wisdom teeth pulled yesterday. Part of the day was a disaster.
That's never
why
fun.
I wasn't on KFAN, nor doing a great job with Double T.
Yeah.
But I had things going on with that. I couldn't get over to the Omni last night, so I want to get over early and see Atticus. Do you want to meet him?
Yeah, I'll meet Atticus for sure. I'm going to be running around. I kind of want to talk to Jacoby Thomas. Interesting guy to me. So we'll see.
All right. Alec Lewis at Alec_Lewis via X. The old dealer's choice. Baldy, your thoughts?
Well, as Hines said earlier, his combo with Erickson Ek is special, and he has not had that. I mean, this series has been. The first game was nuts. The second, it's just Avalanche are so fast. They're so good. You got McKinnon. You got McCarr.
You got guys permitted to punch referees and not get penalty minutes.
Yeah, you got Wedgwood. Where'd Wedgwood? He's out here making saves all over the place.
You know what his nickname is?
No.
Wedgie.
I always love that one.
It's so weird to hear Paul Arena go, Wedgie. 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 They just love that chant, but of course they're 0.20 on gummies by the middle of the first period.
Yeah, it's been a tough series, but if they can just, I was talking to somebody the other day. It was like, it's a long series. It's just these are long series, and I got to remind myself that as a football person, it's one and done. So you gotta really remind yourself that.
Okay, the T-Wolves tonight. Cerebral series. It's a cerebral series, and what I mean is not the whole thing. They got manhandled the other night. Losing by 38 has some unacceptable to it, but that was the final score, so now you move on. But second half of game 1, Finchie did some things that avoided Wemby and played into the scholarly or potential lack thereof scholarly approach by some Spurs who kept overcommitting, and then they would penetrate and kick it out, be guys wide open for shots, and they were hitting them. San Antonio shut that down in game 2. As I heard from Double T yesterday with Nordo, San Antonio started trapping and doubling just past half court players where they knew the ball had to. I don't think Double T said this, but I deduced is San Antonio got it with these traps where they now were getting the ball in the hands of Timberwolves. They wanted to have the ball. And then now shot clock down to 10, 9, 8, and you got to panic, stuff like that. Okay, it went pear-shaped. So Finchie needs to work around that and some other things. What do you think about tonight?
Wasn't Jaden in foul trouble early in the game too? Like I think
both games.
I think that part of it for sure matters.
Wolves look like in game 2, and this has been the case before. They looked like they really need a true point guard, like even Jalen Suggs or something like that from Orlando, just like a middling type, just somebody who doesn't freak out when they get trapped.
It's crazy to me with this Wolves team that it feels like every time they are perceived to have no chance or very little chance, they play with their hair on fire, and every time they become the talk of the media space, it feels like they struggle or they don't come out with the requisite energy. So I think being back with the home crowd should be massive. I'm not cerebral enough with the basketball and the schemes to understand how Finch is going to try to work around it. But I just think they just smart decisions. Like there was so much made about the goaltending after the first game, and I understand why. But sometimes watching that game, I'm like, if Julius Randle is going to bury his head in straight line drive against Wembanyama and that defense, like you're probably going to get blocked, and it could be potential goaltending, and that's like a poor decision. So I just want to see them make smart decisions tonight, and if they do that, I think they'll give themselves a really good chance against a team that they were a damn good team during the regular season.
I just think the shots weren't falling, man. I mean, specifically early on, and then I saw a team, they started falling flat in the second corner. I was mentioning it yesterday. Conley hit those huge 4 threes in game 1. Yeah. He had 2 picture-perfect, wide-open opportunities, clanked them. The shots came to Anthony when he hit the court in game 1.
Yep.
He was forcing it early on.
Thank you.
And then Randall, it was mid-second quarter, and this thing was about to get ugly. Spurs hadn't been shooting well either. He's getting to the line. He's getting a couple of buckets. But there was no momentum gain because transition defense didn't exist or apparently was optional that day. And they would just find those immediate, easy buckets at the other end. And it almost felt like the team collectively just goes, at least we got one, boys. Yeah. We'll see you Friday at home.
Not the first time that's happened in the NBA.
Yeah.
Probably not.
With this specific team, I don't really worry about, they carry themselves with such a confidence that even after a game I expect tonight them to bring everything they've got. And I know this is not high level analysis, and anybody could be on the radio saying this, but it'll be really fun to just see with that atmosphere how they respond. I know that.
All right. Lastly, 5 minutes, you're going to get it all. Let's begin here.
Going to need it all.
One of your more recent stories. The Athletic, theathletic.com. We have one card left to play. That is the Vikings general managerial search.
Ooh.
I'm looking at that story, and Chad Chatlow, Sean McGee. Mm-hmm. I should know this, and I don't, so I might be stupid, but Turnkey ZRG, what's that?
That's the search firm that is helping the Vikings, yeah.
Okay, so these two joined forces, the Turnkey earlier this spring, Brian Flores with the massive influence and personnel.
Kevin O'Connell.
The one you wrote April 28th, laying out the 14. So you pared that down, haven't you?
Well, I haven't pared it down. They submitted requests for interviews on Wednesday.
Okay.
Those names all surface Wednesday and Thursday. So it's
like 6 or 7 people.
It's 6 external names.
Mm-hmm. Well, I want to begin with, if you don't mind.
Sure.
With who's here. Okay, so we just, Ryan Vandemark, goodbye Jauan goes to Green Bay. Goodbye Jonathan goes to Cincinnati. Draft. Jauan Jennings, 1-8. Are you kidding me? 1-8. Somebody got him to say yes. Well, that guy's still here. So is Brzezinski favored to win this job?
I would say based upon my entire assessment and a lot of my conversations, it would be yes. The question that I still have is favored to win the specific GM job, or will he be in an elevated position that allows him to continue to be kind of the primary driver within it? But
yeah, part of this Alec Lewis story, what type of candidate fits best if the Vikings elevate Brzezinski? Yeah, that's go ahead.
And now, if they deem that Rob Brzezinski is the best option for the general manager position, then I still would expect them.
Damn, this is good.
I still would expect them from a personnel standpoint to make some kind of change or addition as well. It's just they are in such a interesting situation, and we talked about this last week. But you have a team with a coaching staff that has a lot of sway, partly because they needed to grab that sway given the way the operation worked with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah. Now that they have that sway, you're going to have a hard time just removing them from having power within the decision making. So how do you find the right blend of executives to fit within that structure? That is their primary challenge. And there are a lot of, I could go on a bunch of paths from that, but it's a really interesting needle to thread, and you don't really always probably want to be threading needles, but that's where they're at.
Okay, well, the last part of this story at The Athletic, who will make the final decision?
Yeah.
This first paragraph is incredibly compelling and for my taste, or at least what I believe, incredibly accurate. Alec writes, this is perhaps the most interesting question. Mark and Ziggy Wilf will make the final call, but who their primary advisor may be, not advisors, advisor may be, remains unclear.
Well, I just think it's yes, Mark and Ziggy Wilf will make the final call. There's no denying that. But the question that I have is, who is the person suggesting or with expertise in their ear? Is it Andrew Miller, the COO, who was a major driver of the Kwesi Adofo-Mensah hire and who does not have a traditional football background? If it's someone with a football background, who is it? Is it Kevin O'Connell, who is going to have his own preference, obviously? It's not going to be Rob Brzezinski because he's a candidate.
Yep.
It's probably not going to be some of the front office personnel who are close to Rob Brzezinski.
Maybe it's Lester Bagley.
It could be Lester. I like Lester. It could be Chad Chatlos at who runs the search firm. Mm-hmm. So like that question to me is, again, it's perhaps the most interesting of, is Andrew Miller, the COO of this team, who doesn't really get talked about that much, but played a big role in past hires, is he the one driving the process? And if so, how does that affect the result? And how do other people in the building feel about that? Those are important questions.
Indeed. And they're broached at The Athletic and theathletic.com. I'll see you out there today, and I'll introduce you to Atticus, okay?
Are you going to wear the hoodie?
100%.
Okay.
For sure. It's windy, as you said.
So I'm right on that assessment.
Yeah, I think we're dressed accordingly for the first major get-together outdoors in Eagan of the 2026.
I'm telling you, just Dimmings.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to read up on him a little bit.
Yeah.
Thanks, bud.
Okay, bye.
Alec Lewis, at Alec_Lewis, 1046. Don't leave. Yeah.
Welcome back, 9 to noon. It is News du Nord, brought to you by The Casino at Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. And you're feeling the felt, right? Poker, blackjack, and table games. You can do that every day, all day, all year at Canterbury. And then live racing is kicking off Memorial Day weekend, May 23rd. Live music events, expos. You can really do it all. It's a family spot, really, down in Shakopee. My favorite one to go to. It's Canterbury Park, CanterburyPark.com. And we'll start with the Minnesota Frost. And game 3 took place yesterday in St. Paul at Grand Casino Arena. Sadly, the Frost on the losing side of it, they lose 2-1 to visiting Montreal and are now down 2-1 in the series. It was Sidney Morin who got the scoring start in the first period, but 2 unanswered by Montreal in the second. That gets you to the final score. Man, there was a mad dash. Tons of power play opportunities for the Frost yesterday. Couldn't get it done, including a mad dash in the final seconds of the affair. But no rest. I believe they are right back at it today. It's going to be 7:30 p.m. Game 4 at Grand Casino Arena. If they're able to tie that up, we will see them again on Monday. Monday in Montreal would be the game-deciding Game 5. To the Minnesota Twins. Minnesota Twins get meatloafed. Yes, indeed they do. By the Washington Nationals. It was 7-5, the final. And it was Ruiz with a go-ahead 7th-inning home run. And a total of 4 RBI on the day. That's Keibert, I believe. Keibert Ruiz, we'll go with that. Apologies on the pronunciation. But the Minnesota Twins lose 2 of 3. They now head to Cleveland for a weekend series against the Guardians. Speaking of Guardians, let's go to the Canadiens. Canadiens at the Sabres. Buffalo took Game 1, and Game 2 of that series is tonight. Golden Knights and Ducks will be the late one. That series was Golden Knights 1-0, but then the Ducks tied up the series the other day. So Game 3 is this evening out west in Anaheim.
Ducks got him, should be up 2-0.
The way this thing is shaping up, so I'm watching Hurricanes Flyers last night.
Ew.
And there were,
that's nuts. I mean, okay, to each their own with their taste, but like after watching Colorado, I mean, the nuts and bolts, grimy, neutral zone checking of that series, holy cow.
You nailed it. That's exactly where I was going, because I was watching that game and there was a spot where I think Taylor Hall got somebody into the boards.
Yeah.
And so they're questioning, it was just a boarding penalty. It wasn't a 5-minute. Philly goes on the power play. And I think on the very first face-off of the ensuing power play, there's a turnover similar to what we saw in Game 1 where Moose went down to take the lead with that shorthanded goal. It was a beautiful tic-tac-toe operation for Carolina. They go in and they score. Mm-hmm. And then there's more physicality. The bench, I forget what the name of the head coach is. It Rob Brindamore?
Yep.
Okay.
Rod
Brindamore, excuse me. Rod starts chirping at the ref. He gets a penalty. Suddenly there's like 5 total players in the respective penalty boxes.
Are you kidding me?
Carolina survives a 5-on-3. They almost instantly then go up 3-1. It was just, it was awful hockey to watch.
Yeah. Was Porter Martone permitted to punch a referee and not get any penalty minutes? Did that happen in the game?
That's the only thing that didn't happen in about the half-hour stretch I was watching that game. Carolina goes on to win 4-1. The reason I brought it up, though, is it is the grind. I don't know how much you caught of Philly and Pittsburgh. It was the same thing.
Yep, not much.
It was ugly, slow, plodding hockey that really, in some respects, relied on special teams. Carolina is flying by everybody they've played in the postseason thus far, and I think they're up. They're up 3-0. They're
3-0.
They're undefeated, I believe, in the postseason so far. They may have lost one in the opening series.
Wow.
But it's basic. Whoever gets out of the West, and I know it's tough for us to think about this right now because we just need to get on the board here and get one tomorrow in St. Paul.
I'm still trying to figure out how to pronounce Gostibus here. Or Gostib. the defenseman, the guy with the G who's really, really good.
The guy with the G, let me find him here.
Yeah, he's a defenseman. His first name is Shane. It's like Gostibus. I don't know what it is.
Gostibahir?
Yeah, just Gostibahir sounds good to me.
Gostibahir?
Yeah, and they have Carolina has a player. I mean, if there's a name of one of the better players in the NHL, and I had no idea who this guy was, but now over the last 2 weeks, they have a guy named Seth Jarvis.
Okay.
Guy's a badass. He's a really, really good player. I'm like, who knew Seth Jarvis?
What about Logan Stankoven? Or Stankoven?
Yeah, Stankoven. Or the guy who scores a goal or at least a goal every game, Svechnikov.
Svechnikov, yes.
Yeah, I think he's their best player.
But I think they're absolutely, it's not even close. They're best in class in the East right now. Carolina is.
Tripping.
And so, it's just, if you get out of the West, you could, the coolest story would be our favorite team versus the team in Northern New York.
Yeah.
But it's just, Carolina's flying.
Why did you say that?
What do you mean?
Wild and Buffalo.
Yeah, Wild and
for
Buffalo.
Stanley Cup final. Why did you say that'd be the coolest story?
Well, I just think
Jordan Greenway.
Well, our chance to get there, and what we've gone through, the grind, the first round exits from nothing to potentially everything. Okay. And a Buffalo team, what was it? 9.
Okay, so it involves the team.
Yeah, the team overall.
Yeah, I have a friend of mine who goes to Syracuse University.
Okay.
Named Louis Genovese, who his family has season tickets to the Sabres. And this kid and I have just, started doing some work together, we'll say, the last year and a half. Yeah. And Louis is the biggest Sabres fan in the world. He's done microphone work and TV work for Syracuse.
Oh, very cool.
And, he could be a correspondent for hours next week if you want with the Buffalo Sabres. But that's why I'm like, why'd you say that, man? Because that's what I'm pulling for, too. So Louis can be our Buffalo correspondent, and we don't have to put the con on 3 hours of assignments trying to get running back coaches from Wake Forest to join 9 to noon.
Is Syracuse still massive broadcasting school? Like Brown, the Bob Costases of the world. I think so. If you're big in broad, what if we have the next Bob Costas on before we knew he was Bob Costas?
That's where Noah Eagle went. So Ian Eagle went there. His son Noah, all these big spot games he's calling on TV, he went there.
I'm sure it was the school that got Noah on the right path versus Ian.
Why would you say that?
Well, I'm pretty sure
that call games.
I think he does a terrific job.
So he earned it on merit.
I think he did earn it on merit, but it probably doesn't hurt that his father is also a longtime Vox.
Yeah, I may have said that earlier in the week, too. Paulie Wally Fletcher, formerly of Cities 97, he just sent me a text. Gostisbehere. Yeah, that's the big G for the Blue Liners for Carolina. Thank you, Paulie Wally.
But yeah, Big Rig and Company. Yeah. Zucker and who am I missing? Alex Tuck, all playing for Buffalo.
Oh, yeah. Jordan Greenway scored the other night.
Yeah. So then
Louis Genovese.
It's all coming together. Thunder blew out the Lakers. It's over. Pistons up 2-0 on the Cavaliers. Our favorite team goes this evening.
Austin Reeves called a referee a very bad word last night.
Oh, he did?
Well, yeah, it's NBA referees. Sometimes, human nature gets to win too. Sometimes people crack and they say things in any circumstance that they regret and they want to pull back.
Sure.
Well, I don't know what the ref said to Austin Reeves last night, But Austin Reeves, you can find it on the X machine. That's where I found it because I didn't watch the game. Austin Reeves approached that referee and basically said, paraphrasing, "Why would you talk to me like that? You can't say that to me, you bleep." It's a really bad word.
That's some BS for you to talk to me like that.
There we go.
P word.
Yeah.
Oof.
There you go.
Well, I will.
Hey, and did you see the overmatched ref disagree with him? No. Just walked away, because he blew it. He said something he shouldn't have said. There's so many things that are taking place with officials in all of sports right now. I mean, you're about ready to lose, 15 Major League Baseball umpires because they can't handle the technological strikes and balls. NFL refs, I've said in what's coming up on my 25 years calling play-by-play in the NFL, officiating, not the Whitecaps, the ancillary officials, have never been worse. And I don't know how they're leaping these levels to get these jobs, but it's ridiculous. NBA officiating ain't great. And then now the NHL officials and the league, nice commissioner, Mr. Bettman, you're allowing players to punch your referees and not be reprimanded.
Yeah.
It's the whole thing. In every pro sport, it sucks.
I mean, just picture, he straight up punched him. Mm-hmm. But it's okay because it was inadvertent.
But okay,
how is that a thing?
Yeah, that's hockey. Okay, it's playoffs. Or like Heinze said, he's like, expect the unexpected, PA, in the playoffs. Okay, and I'm not touchy-feely guy. Okay, I'm not touchy-feely. If you disagree with me, I'm going to blow a vuvuzela in your ear. I'm not that guy. Who I am is somebody who recognizes where fighting and scraps in hockey are accepted. It's part of the code, the unwritten rule. It's age old. I'm not here to argue with it. But how there cannot be a rule where we know this is going to happen, and we know that things lead up to it, that everybody misses. We're going to let it happen. But if in any way one of our guys is struck, here's what happens to you. How is that not part of the bylaws? How is that not part of the rules with officiating and players? He didn't get grazed. It wasn't a baby slap. He got freaking punched in the face by this guy harder than 98% of the listeners, including 2 in here, have ever been punched in their face in their lives. Or at least in 25 years, which required me to get a couple of fake teeth. But we can talk about that in a skull story gone by. You see what I'm saying?
No, I'm with you.
If you strike somebody,
I was shocked by it.
Wow, man, it just blows me
nuts.
Away. Yeah.
Wolves tonight. They're gonna hopefully take Game 3, and we're all gonna be celebrating into the weekend with a 5 p.m. block party in West 7th Kellogg Avenue, Kellogg area of St. Paul, up in advance of an 8 p.m. ish puck drop. Let's call it 8:10. Wild Game 3 against said Avalanche. No more punching referees, please. Let's just go out and win a game. Let's go be more physical. Let's do the speed thing. Let's own this thing. Let's assert ourselves. Last change.
Yeah, last change. Has to matter.
We got to pause because we got a cool segment coming up around the corner.
Down memory lane we go.
We celebrated the memory of tight end immortality for the Minnesota Vikings, and somebody with whom I had the privilege of working for my first 5 years calling Vikings games and doing the play-by-play, Uncle Joe Sensor. Greg Coleman joined earlier. We're going to have a special guest join us in truncated fashion around the corner. Then we're going to share some Uncle Joe-related skull stories that I don't believe ever have been shared into this microphone at FM 100.3 KFAN, and I can't wait. Hopefully you enjoy it. I and we and so many people love Joe, and he died yesterday at the age of 69. May God rest his soul. We'll be right back.